You've landed in the confidence zone with Susan Axelrod, the confidence coach. This is a place for topics of information and inspiration, a place to support you to find your confidence, get bold, and get going. Activation is needed today at all levels. Don't wait for someone else to lead. Lead now where you are with what you have. Your energy and enthusiasm matters. Believe it or not, it impacts all of us. Find your confidence, get bold, and get going. Hello, friends. Susan Axelrod here, the confidence coach. Welcome to the confidence zone. Spring is springing. I have gathered plants around me to remind me and get grounded in nature, the sacred rhythm of our sacred seasons. What a time we're in. I want to ask you today, what does spring mean to you? What does spring look like for you? And what does it feel like for you? Usually in my live videos, I work to have things be not time specific so that they can stand the test of time. I have several hundreds, closing in on 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel, aka my legacy library, that will be there as long as YouTube exists. And I like them to stand on their own for you so that you can drop by there and see what it is that's happening and have it feel relevant to you whenever it is that you're seeing it. So it could be said, this commentary is relevant to you no matter what month or year you are seeing it. Today, we are on the cusp of a spring equinox. This is very poignant for me because summer is my season. As you can see, I like to be in sleeveless, and spring portends summer. Having said that, the last 60 days of this year, 2025, have been horrific. This morning, I was walking my dog, getting my sun in my eyes, as I learned from Andrew Huberman, and letting Mr. Cooper have his daily morning constitutional. And I had a sudden thought. I came to my consciousness with a start and said, it's almost the end of the entire first quarter of 2025. What was I doing 30 days ago and 60 days ago? The quarter is 3 months. What was I doing last month? What did I do for all of February? What did I do in January of this year? My life is likely different than yours. I am self-employed. I have my clients. I make my own schedule, and I have intentionally built in a lot of time for rest. When you go through trauma, you know that rest is something that's very needed. Overscheduling no longer serves. So I certainly know I walk every day. I walk the dogs every day. I go to the gym. It's very important to me now. But what did I do? What did I accomplish over the last 60 days? And I'm walking along, walking my dog. And I said to myself, I survived. Not only that, I really thrived. I made a decision to not be taken down by the negative energy in the environment, dare I say, in the very atmosphere that is being intentionally perpetrated at you like a double fire hose right in your face. If you follow me, which I invite you to do, follow me on Facebook under my name, Susan Axelrod. Find my YouTube channels, The Confidence Zone with Susan Axelrod. Find me on LinkedIn under my name, Susan Axelrod. And you will see that I have been speaking up and speaking out every day, at least once a day, inviting you to find your fierce, to find your breath, find your balance, and understand that negative forces depend on us being off balance. Who's not off balance? Who's totally centered and grounded? Evil today is centered and grounded, having a ball. We, standing behind the fire hose with it pointed at us, are feeling ungrounded, uncentered, unsettled, anxious, and even many talk about feeling terrified. Still at this time, it's not the majority of people in our country who need to feel terrified, but the majority of people who voted for her talk about feeling terrified. I want to invite you to consider the energy of terrified. It's dark, deep winter energy, like this. It's dark, it's cold, it's deep, and it feels like the light will never come. That's the energy that you're putting out if you are struggling in terrified or fear or anxiety, or even lower down on the feeling scale in worry. Spring is springing, and I want to invite you to open up and realize the greatest mama of us all, Mother Nature, is showing up for us again. The sacred rhythms of the sacred seasons. This is not language that I've created. I've learned from many other coaches and people who are uplifting and inspiring to me. But mostly, I've learned from Mother Nature. I've learned that I can depend on her and I can count on her to show up for me because I want to get through the cold, dark months on the way into the blooming of the spring and the blossoming of the summer. Spring is springing. You can count on Mother Nature for that. And I want to ask you, on what can we count from you? What can we count on from you? Every single one of us has an opportunity to figure out what matters to us. Most people I know are tending to themselves, their own self-care, to their small family units, taking care of the people close around them. And some are venturing out in the concentric circles to the community, the neighbors, the community. And it's time for us to begin venturing out even more into the regional, the state, and of course, the country. In only 60 days, life as we know it has changed. And my friends, it has changed forever. You cannot experience the bigotry and hate that we have experienced since January 21st and not be changed forever. To know that there are people out there like that. Some of us, I count myself in that group as a Jew, have always known, but the majority people have really never known. They've gone about their lives and their business doing what they do and paying for apps that have dimmed the brain and dulled the mind. And here we are today. If your skin is brown or black or red or yellow, you know what I'm talking about. So I want to ask you, Mother Nature is going to show up for us. We are on the cusp of the season, the spring equinox. And I want to ask you, what have you been percolating over the winter? What have you been in hibernation to do to come out of the hibernation? What have you been doing for the last 30, 60, 90 days? Now, I've never lived in a state where it's summer all the time. I don't really know what that's like. It seems to me like it would be awesome because I like the warm weather. So I don't know what people who live in all the warm, hot states do about spring. Is spring any different from the winter for you? I don't know. but I'm here showing up to invite even you who may not be experiencing a change of the seasons to go in and explore your own seasons within and explore what it is that you have been in hibernation in order to blossom out now at this time. I speak every day in some way or another, and I'm very extremely aware of what I'm saying. I'm extremely intentional with my words. As you can see, I don't have any notes. I open and allow what is divine to come through me. At this time, I did go live every day for several years. At this time, I only speak like this when I feel moved to say something, when I feel that it is intended for me to say something. And so when I say it, it's intentional. And so I haven't ever once here in recent times shown up and said, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, or you should not be doing this, or you should not be doing that, because I've learned that that's not my business or my place. Instead, I invite you to consider your own personal agency and your resilience to overcome perpetrated difficulty on you, and ask yourself, what does this mean for me? If you need to take care of your family, fine, I get it. Of course, that's your first primary responsibility. But if you're a person who is sitting around with time on your hands, with money in your bank accounts, with energy to give, and with maybe even half a brain left, then I want to invite you to go a little deeper, or go a little higher, or go a little wider at this time, and join me in doing that. And I think that it's needed, and especially if you're a crone, an older woman, empty nested, or perhaps never had children in the second half of life where you are looking ahead at your own mortality. I hope your personal plans are in place. I hope you've taken responsibility for that. But in particular, now might be a time where you might be surprised at what energizes you, and also the impact that you can make. So much is needed. I was in a group the other night where someone lives in a neighborhood where there are mostly federal workers, and nearly every house has a car in the driveway today that never used to be there because those cars were at work and those workers got laid off, and so on and so much more. And so these are difficult times. I acknowledge that. And I want to invite you to join me and other crones whom you are seeing show up if you use social, or you may be seeing them in your neighborhoods or at your place of worship, or even at the bookstore, bringing good cheer, helping out, or offering to babysit, or all kinds of things. Whatever your medium is, whatever your ability is, whatever you are capable of today, despite whatever personal, financial, emotional, mental, or physical difficulty you might be in, I promise you this: if you help others, if you give a little more, you are going to feel better. So I wanted to just come here today and speak this out and invite you to consider deeply the spring around you and ask yourself, what could I do? What might I do? You've seen me write this over and over, and I'm saying it and I'll say it again. And that is, we're here because we yearned to be here. That's hard to take and hard to stomach, but that's the truth. If you live like I do, that's the truth. We're here because we yearned to be here. Now, you want to explore that personally. One of the things that I know, because of the nature of my work and the type of people I work with who find me, is that a lot of people have this deep yearning in them. My website is whatwillyourlegacybe.com. And so I, for decades, have been working in the area of legacy. And I used to have a thinking card. I gave away hundreds of them over my first 2 decades. And it said, how do you want to be remembered at the top of my postcard? And then underneath in smaller print, it says this: how will you be remembered? How do you want to be remembered? And how will you be remembered? The way you will be remembered is by the way you lived your life, what it was that you did do during your lifetime, and so on. So these are hard things to talk about today. I was in a group meeting and somebody said to me, Susan, I love that you're talking about death. This world is so death phobic. And I said, yeah, I'm not fooling around right now. I'm really not. I'm ready and I'm willing and I'm able and I'm growing my ability every single day by coming here and saying to you, open up your mind and imagine the possibility that there's opportunity that you had been having in the back of your mind that, had been percolating for you, and you were wishing and wondering and wanting something. Well, the time is now, my friends. Don't wish, don't wonder anymore. Whatever it was that you wanted, the opportunity is right in front of you right now. My friends and I have been talking about the difference a coach can make in someone's life. My clients know it. And if you've ever worked with a coach in the past, I invite you to reconnect with a coach you may have worked with, or find me or any one of very many available coaches who will work with you in accountability, sincerely working for your best endeavors from your own personal deepest desires and best intentions. So this is one of the things that is available to you if you want it. I do want to invite and encourage you to get stronger. It's time to really strengthen your body a little bit, whatever that means to you. I'm not saying that you have to do anything like someone else or look like someone else, but whatever it is for you, it would help everyone if you strengthen your mind, your body, and your soul. All right, my friends. So that's it for now. Spring is springing. You can count on Momma Nature. And I want to ask you, can she count on you? Something to consider. If I can help you with this, my friends, you know where to find me if you're watching this video. Take care.